Pioneers are explorers. Pioneers are innovators. Pioneers are leaders. We are Marietta College. We are pioneers. Find out how you can become a PIO at www.marietta.edu.
A man accused of setting homeless campsites on fire near the convention center will face a judge Wednesday morning.
Multiple homes on Douglas Avenue in Youngstown were hit by a gunfire Tuesday.
We'll have these stories and more. News Center 15 starts now. Good afternoon and welcome to Thursday's edition of News Center 15. I'm Declan Garrett.
And I'm Haley.
Top in our news this afternoon. Footage of Florence, Italy, Mayor Dario Nardella physically impeding climate change activists trying to graffiti one of his city's most famous landmarks went viral this week. Video shows Nardella interrupting the two vandals as they sprayed orange paint from a fire extinguisher onto the side of the Palazzo Vecchio, Florence's town hall building, in an effort to spread a climate change message. Getting into the fray along with local police, Nardella was seen shoving the two men as they were committing the vandalism, forcing them away from their paint and off to the curb, where they were arrested by Florence police. As he was being detained, the vandal appeared to make an attempt to preach about his political agenda through the angry mayor, though the angry mayor wasn't buying it and seemed to scold him mid-speech. The incident started when Nardella noticed the climate vandals from activist group Ultima Generazione, Last Generation, spraying the paint while he was in the middle of an interview on the historic city streets. As he realized what they were doing, the mayor turned away from the camera and sprinted over to the scene to protect the famous building, which was built more than 700 years ago.
The intense microcell hit an industrial area of the city Montebello. Public Information Officer Michael Cheese told CNN, and at least one commercial building was damaged. There was flying debris and everything, tweeted one person who shared a video of the storm. The video zooms in on a mass of dark gray clouds consuming the sky and tapering down toward land. The injured person was transported to a local hospital and their condition is unknown, city spokesman Alex Gilman told CNN. Tornadoes are rare in California, with fewer than 10 per year on average, according to the National Ocean and Atmosphere Administration. Most tornadoes in the state are small and short-lived. They are commonly referred to as landspouts, similar to a waterspout, but over land. These differ from more traditional tornadoes that form from rotating thunderstorms, like those common in the Central Plains and the Southeast. While landspouts can cause damage, it is generally not extensive or severe.
Hey, I wonder what the weather looks like today.
Here to provide us a first look at our current conditions is Landon.
Well, Haley, we're not going to be dealing with any tornadoes anytime soon, but we are going to be dealing with some rain in the next coming days. As for right now, we're not having any rain at the moment. It feels like 43 degrees outside with an expected high of 61. Once again, the warmest day of the week occurs on a Thursday for the second week in a row. We have a moderate UV index of 5, air quality level of 30 and fair. The winds will be running around the north-northwest at about 7 miles per hour, and the humidity is at a level of roughly 30%, and that level is going to be steadily increasing as we get closer and closer to the end of the day and as we get closer and closer to the weekend as well, because a little bit after dinner time we're going to be getting our first bouts of rain this weekend. We'll talk a little bit later on in the program how that's going to affect the rest of the week when I return later on for the 5-day forecast. But until then, back to you guys at the desk.
A man accused of setting homeless campsites on fire near the convention center will face a judge Wednesday morning. Carl Mahone, 54, is being charged with aggravated arson after he allegedly set 2 separate homeless encampments on fire under the South 3rd Street Bridge near the 200 block of Convention Center Drive. On March 21, Columbus police responded to reports of a fire that involved a homeless encampment at 1:18 p.m., according to a Franklin County Municipal Court document. A witness gave the responding officer a description of a suspect who reportedly left the scene. After the scene was cleared, a second fire was reported, which involved multiple fires at the same location on the south side of the bridge's support structure. After clearing the scene, Mahone was spotted on the 600 block of North High Street. Mahone was taken into custody, and during an interview with a fire and explosive investigative unit, he admitted to setting the fires and provided details of the events.
Multiple homes on Douglas Avenue in Youngstown were hit by gunfire on Tuesday. Between the hours of 11 p.m. and 1 a.m., over 30 bullets were fired at a house on Douglas Avenue. A woman and her granddaughter were inside and are lucky to be alive. The homeowner said that the shots were so powerful that she felt the whole house shake, but it wasn't until the morning that she realized what had happened. Youngstown Police Lieutenant Bill Ward followed up on the incident and was absolutely taken aback after seeing the bullets had traveled through multiple walls of their home. Had she or her granddaughter been in the kitchen, living room, or anywhere else, they could have easily been struck by gunfire, he said.
2 inmates of a Virginia jail were able to use makeshift tools to dig their way out.
Stay with us.
Hey, this is Kevin Love from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Right now, many of us feel anxious. Mindfulness can help you ease those feelings. My nonprofit is partnering with Headspace to offer free content to help you stress less. Head to kevinlovefund.org/headspace.
Here's to the straggly ones. The first ones. Hey, I look good with this ones. The black, brown, red, and gray ones. The itchy ones. The ones grown by Dad. The ones grown for Dad. The I nearly didn't do it this year ones. And the absolutely filthy ones. They all raise awareness, raise funds, start conversations, and save lives. Because whatever you grow will save a bro. Learn more at Movember.com.
A dream sailing trip went bad for Rick Rodriguez and some of his friends when their boat was capsized by none other than a giant whale. Last week, just 13 days into their trip, Rodriguez was sailing from the Galapagos Islands to French Polynesia when the whale struck, leaving him and his friends stranded at sea. Luckily, before the boat went down, Rodriguez was able to send out Mayday signals that reached Peruvian officials. Rodriguez and his crew would have to wait almost 9 hours before a U.S. Coast Guard made the rescue. Nobody was injured, but it is interesting to point out that, according to the Washington Post, there have been nearly 1.2 thousand instances of this since 2007.
2 inmates of a Virginia jail were able to use makeshift tools to dig their way out on Tuesday at some point. They were noticed to be missing during the evening head count, and reports were made to alert the community and surrounding areas to be on the lookout. It only took a few hours for the 2 men, 37 and 43 years of age, to be located. They were not running, they were not stealing a vehicle or wearing any type of disguise just hours after escaping the jail. Instead, the two men were reported to be eating at a local IHOP. Customers made the call to local police, and the two men were brought back into custody. Their charges include contempt of court and credit card fraud.
A 29-year-old woman is currently under fire for allegedly using fake documents to enroll herself in a New Jersey public high school back in January. One might ask, why did she do it? But if you ask her lawyer, it's because she was lonely. That's right. This 2019 Rutgers grad said that she missed the environment that she looked back on fondly. The woman was able to provide New Brunswick High School district officials with a fake birth certificate, along with a number of other forged documents that landed her in a classroom in January. She has since been banned from all school properties, and she is expected back in court on Monday.
The UN released its annual World Water Report to this past Tuesday, and it states that 26% of the world's population is still without safe drinking water. Along with this statistic, the UN stated that it is still planned to reach its goal of the entire world having safe drinking water by the year of 2030. Richard Conards, the senior editor-in-chief of the report, told officials at the conference this past week that it estimates a cost of anywhere from $600 billion to $1 trillion. While that price is high, Connors pointed out that the UN is already making great strides with donors and investors in its early stages.
President Donald Trump to turn over prosecutor documents in current investigation.
And a woman arrested for setting a building on fire.
And after a few more hours of a dry spell, we'll be beginning a long weekend of rain a little bit after dinner time. Stay tuned for the 5-day forecast after this.
Where are we?
We're at Marietta College.
This is where we live at Marietta College.
When kids need medical care, they face life-changing experiences. They miss out on the things that make being a kid fun. Starlight Children's Foundation programs entertain and inspire hospitalized kids. Learn more at starlight.org.
Marietta, a place some people call home.
A place of athletes.
A place of discovery.
A place for the future.
Your plan.
Your future.
Go Pios.
A federal appeals court in a sealed order Wednesday directed a lawyer for Donald Trump to turn over to prosecutors documents in the investigation into the former president's retention of classified records at his Florida estate. The ruling is a significant win for the Justice Department, which has focused for months not only on the hoarding of classified documents at Mar-a-Lago, but also on why Trump and his representatives resisted demands to return them to the government. It suggests the court has sided with prosecutors who have argued behind closed doors that Trump was using his legal representation to further a crime. The order was reflected in a brief online notice by a 3-judge panel of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit. The case is sealed, and none of the parties in the dispute is mentioned by name.
A woman was arrested on charges of setting fire to a building in Wyoming that was being renovated to a house that states only full service. Abortion clinic authorities said Wednesday hours after a judge temporarily blocked a ban on abortion that went into effect a few days ago. Lorana Roxanne Green, 22, of Casper, was arrested on Tuesday by Casper police and agents from the FBI and the U.S. Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, Wyoming U.S. Attorney Nicholas said in a statement. Green faces up to 20 years in prison and a $250,000 fine if convicted. According to the statement, she is scheduled to appear in federal court in Cheyenne on Thursday morning.
Al Stone Gebhardt worked hard in school to make sure he graduates in May. And he spent hundreds of dollars on commencement regalia, but he is fully prepared not to participate in the ceremony. The 17-year-old, who was transgender, said he feared his high school Tulsa Union might use his dead name, the name he was given at birth, but no longer uses, on his diploma and during the ceremony instead of his legally changed name. He has had teachers call him by his birth name, sometimes inadvertently, and said he finds the experience traumatizing. Being dead named just immediately makes you feel belittled, weak, and insignificant, Stone Gebhardt said. I don't want to be in the classroom. I didn't trust the teacher. The Associated Press contacted the school about Stone Gebhardt's fears, as well as concerns from his mother, who felt she was getting the runaround when she tried to discuss the issue with the school's officials. A spokesperson said the school will work with his parents to make sure his correct name is used. The movie critic may be Quentin Tarantino's last movie, and reality dating show fans will get more of what they want with Queen's Court, which is tripling down on the dating show format.
Zach has the details in today's Hollywood Minute.
Hi everyone. Could Quentin Tarantino really be making his final film? According to The Hollywood Reporter, Tarantino, the creator of films such as Pulp Fiction and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, has written and is preparing to direct The Movie Critic. Set in the late 70s in Los Angeles, Tarantino has long said he'd only direct 10 films or retire before he turns 60. This would be his 10th film, and he turns 60 on March 27th. Dating show fans, Queen's Court triples down on the usual dating show format, Queens. Tamar Braxton, Evelyn Lizota, and Nivea are each looking for love, with 21 potential kings vying for their hands. Holly Robinson Pete and Rodney Pete oversee it all. You can see Queen's Court on Peacock. I'm Zach, here with your Hollywood Minute. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Zach. Now we'll head to Landon for a look at our extended forecast.
How does it look out there, Landon?
Well, Haley, for the moment it's looking rather dry, rather calm, but as you can see here, mostly coming from the Atlantic Ocean in the northwesterly direction, we're getting the first signs of the bout of rain that's going to be coming through the Middle Ohio Valley over the next 3 days as we get closer and closer to the weekend. Some of it has already made it up to the northern, up to the areas up to the north of us, mostly in Caldwell. So they're already experiencing some rain, and we'll end up getting our first round of it here in the Middle Ohio Valley, I'd say around 6, maybe somewhere between 6 and 7 o'clock later on this evening. So better have a quick dinner if you're going to eat outside. The rain will be hitting full force this evening. Going on into Friday, it's going to cause the temperatures to cool down a little bit with an expected high of 50 before spiking right back up again on Saturday, even higher than they are today with an expected high of 74. Cooling down again for the churchgoers on Sunday as we get a bit of a break from the rain on Sunday with an expected high of 59 and some sunny conditions. And the rain will be coming back a little bit as we get into the next work week on Monday with an expected high of 58, continuing on at a slightly cooler temperatures of 52 on Tuesday with the rain continuing on. Though from what I understand, both Monday and Tuesday of next week, the rain, although will be back, it will mostly be in the evening. So you might have to be careful of some slippery roads or sidewalks or puddles or anything, but it looks like you'll be able to do some daytime activities at the beginning of the next week. And later on at the end of the program, we'll talk about some activities we might be doing later on this weekend. Looking forward to that. But until then, back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Landon. When we come back, Grant will join us with an update from the world of sports.
See you in a few.
James Brown and Bill Cowher welcoming you back to the Midnight Snack Run.
This is one tricky obstacle course.
He's reaching, but he pushes it away. He's approaching a plate of iced cookies. He blows right by him.
Oh, the fridge.
Looks like he's headed for the soda. Wait, he jukes left, grabs the water bottle.
Now he's just got to get out of there.
Look what dropped from the sky.
Don't do it, Dennis. That's the way you execute a Midnight Snack Run.
Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer.
Go to takeahealthystand.org.
Marietta College, home of the pioneers. A small town on the Ohio River with a tight-knit community and tons of opportunity. Find a home here at Marietta College. Bring forth a pioneer.
We're back with Grant for a look at sports.
What's been happening in the world of sports, Grant?
I got the rundown right now. Paul George went down hard in the fourth quarter. He may have taken the Los Angeles Clippers championship hopes down with him. George got hurt on Tuesday night's 101-100 loss to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Oklahoma City Thunder. The star guard hit the court after getting fouled by Louis Dort with 40:38 remaining. He lay on the back for several minutes before being helped to his feet. Supported by staff on either side, George headed to the locker room, appearing unable to put any weight on his right leg. George had 38 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists, potentially losing, and so close to the end of the regular season, could put the Clippers' postseason aspirations in jeopardy. Japanese television stuck to its live coverage from Miami for almost 2 hours after Japan defeated the United States 3-2 to win the World Baseball Classic. Shohei Itano striking out Los Angeles Mike Trout on a pitch away to the end of the game was replayed repeatedly between player interviews, beer-sprayed clubhouses, interludes, and traditional doge, team members tossing the winning manager and players into the air. The country's top circulating newspaper, Yomiuri, rolled out a special Wednesday afternoon edition for commuters. Princeton forward Tosa Eve Bowman spent his first 3 college seasons enduring one disappointment after another. Reaching the NCAA tournament and advancing to the Sweet 16 made it all worthwhile. After the 2020 Ivy League tournament was canceled, after the entire 2020 to 2021 season was canceled, after losing by 2 points by the conference 2022 tourney title game, and after watching 3 friends transfer just to keep playing in 2022 to 2023. This resilience 6'8" Brit has taken the Tigers on their deepest NCAA tournament run since 1967 and has emerged as a survivor as one of the college basketball's strangest journeys. Lastly, a bill to legalize sports gambling in Missouri passed the State House speedily on Tuesday, but the measure's prospects in the Senate are far less certain. The Republican-led House voted at 118 to 35 in favor of the legislation, which would tax sports betting at 10%. Bills to allow sports betting have failed for years to make it to the governor's desk, despite interest from residents and the Kansas City Chiefs' 2 Super Bowl wins in the past 4 years. A total of 43 states and districts of Columbia now offer at least some form of sports wagering, each scrambling for shades of multi-billion-dollar enterprise that has rapidly expanded after the U.S. Supreme Court allowed it nearly 5 years ago. For now, that's all I have in the world of sports. I'm Grant. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Grant. Joining us now at the desk is Landon for our last look at the weather.
To quickly sum it up, after dinner time this evening, we're going to get a 3-day spiel of rain causing temperatures to spike up to 74 tomorrow afternoon before cooling down on Sunday, with the rain returning on Monday and Tuesday, mostly in the evening time, with temperatures rounding off in about the mid to low 50s. So we're going to have a bit of a wet weekend most of the time, but I think we're going to be drying up by the time Sunday rolls around. Incidentally, Declan, have you considered taking up hunting? I think you'd be I think you'd be good at that because I noticed throughout the show you kind of got a lot of laser focus with how your eyes move.
Really? Yeah. I was born in England.
Attention to detail everywhere.
I was born in England, so I don't hunt that much, but maybe I'll consider it. Thanks for joining us for our Thursday's edition of WCMO Channel 15 at 12:30 and 6:30. From all of us here at the station, we wish you a great rest of the week.